All right, this is my first time really riding this e-bike any kind of distance. We're going to Publix, the grocery store. I'm on setting 4 out of 5. I almost feel like the setting 5, speed 5 out of 5 is too fast for this trail in some parts. It's just more comfortable here at 25k an hour. The jump though is huge from 4 to speed 5. It's 25k an hour to 35k an hour. And if you choose to just use the pedal assist, there's really no between. I really can't go anything other than 25 or 35. It's very weird. See this? Here we are at 25 right now. Going level 5. I'm not putting any watts in. I'm just pedaling, soft pedaling. Here we are, 36. Let's say I want to keep pedaling, but I want to go 30. I'm pedaling as light as I can. Nope. It's going all the way to 36 again. So, don't really like that feature too much. Put it back on 4. Here's a pretty decent hill. I'm actually amazed at how much power this has. Of course, the hill is no problem. Now, so far today, I'm only using, and I think I'm going to stick with it, I'm only using the pedal assist. I'm not touching the throttle. I don't really want to use the throttle. It just seems easier to me just to pedal the bike, and I get to add in my own watts to the mix. Level 4 seems like a decent level for this type of trail. Now, one thing to note about this e-bike is I noticed this one only has 7.8 amp hour battery, as opposed to what most of them seem to say nowadays is a 10.4, I believe. And 7.8 is on the small side. In fact, that's the same as my Detroit Sparrow had with its 250 watt motor, whereas this is a 500 watt motor. So I'm kind of interested to see how many miles, how many kilometers we'll get today. I'm gonna go to the grocery store, go back home. That's not too far. And then I'm gonna meet up my friend Jason a little later today, help him out with some bikes. That's not super far either. But I charged the battery this morning, so it's full charge. Oh, golf cart coming. Let's try the horn. Yeah, it works. That's kind of cool. So this thing has a horn and a light. No, a front light, but no rear light. I was wondering, is this gonna make my trip to the grocery store faster? I go to this grocery store all the time. Compared to my all-road bike, I think yes. Certainly easier, which is, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. All right, we're finishing up on the trail here. Hop on the road for a minute. Now, one thing I noticed just starting off from my house, going onto another road, is the lag in the power is pretty big. You know, it's a couple seconds before the power kicks in, and if you're trying to cross the street, yeah, it's a little bit scary, you know. Let's see if we can track stand it. The balance is a bit weird, but yes, I can track stand it. Here we go. Oh, so slow to start. Come on, there it goes. Wow, it's insanely slow to get started. Now, that's partly because I'm in the highest gear. I'm in the highest gear. The bike has both the front and the back, so it's probably sensing my pedal movement very slowly. So to get off the line better, maybe the strategy should be to shift down a couple gears. I can try that next time. I feel like with this speed, I can just jump right onto the road. Usually I ride the sidewalk up this little incline. Let's shift down a couple spaces. Whoa. Yeah, that helps. Turn. Nope. Okay, let's go. I will say I'm already getting used to the higher speed. 35, 36K an hour. Doesn't feel so fast now. Here we go up a pretty big hill, and I have my backpack loaded up. I'm pedaling, not crazy hard, but I'm pedaling a little bit. We're sustaining 35K an hour up here. It's kind of crazy. Probably one of the first things I'll do is somehow get these brakes working better. I don't know if that means just new pads, all new brakes, or what, but its stopping is, I would say, inadequate for the speed you're going and the weight the bike is. Front brakes are squeaking a little bit. I'm noticing more and more I'm just leaving it in 5. So I'm getting used to it, I guess. I went ahead and put my quad lock on. Here we go. Slow start. Now it's going. I mean, 35 feels fast in a lot of situations, but like right here, it feels a little slow actually. But that said, I don't think that's my biggest complaint. Probably my biggest complaint so far are the brakes probably. And then second, maybe the lag, the delay to start off. We have a little headwind and we're going uphill. Still maintaining 35 while I'm putting in a little bit of work as well. My heart rate's at 140. And at first I thought the front shock was kind of a gimmick. I was like, maybe I'll put a rigid fork on it. But with this extra weight and extra speed, it is actually helping, I think, when I hit some of these bigger bumps. I'm just finding myself all the time, pretty much, in my highest gear. So I think I'm gonna switch it to a 1x in the front with a slightly larger front chain ring. Not that I can go faster really, but my cadence won't have to be quite so high. We'll lose a little weight too, get rid of this guy. It's not a bad shifter actually, but here in Florida with this e-bike, I'm never gonna need lower gears, I don't think, not for the purposes I'm using this bike for. And in fact, this chain ring is a little bit wonky. It's not totally flat, and that causes it to slightly touch the derailleur no matter what I do. It's wobbly. I've seen that before on cheap bikes. Let's play with the 360 cam a little. Can I go no-handed on this? Yeah, I can. A little scared. There we go. So we're out here at the, what I would call Tycho Airport. I think it has a new name now. It's actually a great road for cycling because there's almost no traffic, at least now. It's actually pretty exciting riding this bike today. And this is a weak e-bike. This is what people call like a low power e-bike, which is crazy. Hey, Jason.
Yo.
Michael.
E-bike?
Yeah, I just got it a few days ago. All right, guys, I guess I should explain what was going on back there. That was my friend Jason and his sons. Wow, this guy's doing wheelies. Anyway, as I was saying, that's my friend Jason and his sons. He got a hold of like 35, something like that, bikes. They're in pretty rough condition just because they've been in storage. So today we moved him out of his trailer, put him into another storage facility. We're gonna organize a day where a bunch of us are gonna come together and get them fixed up, and he's gonna donate them, you know, ahead of Christmas this year. Jason does a lot of stuff for the local cycling. He's a coach for the NICA Youth Mountain Bike Racing League, and just a good guy all around. We're down to 3 out of 5 bars now on the battery. Still going strong. That's mostly leaving it in 5 out of 5 power setting. I'll be honest, I know this is a cheap bike. You know, it was like 500 bucks new, shipped, but I'm loving it. It's fun. And I know it's not that powerful, but I actually think it's fine. It makes it still an actual bicycle and not a motorcycle with pedals, you know? Bigger battery would be nice, of course, always. But on the other hand, that means more weight too. The bike's already, what was it? It's about 50 pounds. The bike is really good for this type of ride. Just a bit of cruising, you know? I feel like where it's not as good maybe is in like stop and go. Just because in that situation, the lag is kind of annoying and the weight of the bike is kind of annoying. Right now I'm just running on throttle and I'm still at 35.5 kilometers an hour. I'm not even pedaling, so I see why people don't pedal. You don't really have to, but I do think by pedaling I'm extending the battery life, and I just like pedaling. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Man, I don't know what else to say, but I'm loving it. I'm super pumped about this bike. So much fun. Probably in future videos I'll do some mods. I'm definitely already, it's, you know, the gears are turning on different ideas on things I want to do. But even as it is, it's not a bad bike. After riding, I don't know, all over town today, we're down to 2 bars, so I think even the small battery is good enough for me, for the type of riding I'm doing. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. See you guys in the next one.